Greetings traders, Robert from Topstep here. In this video, we will be going through the connection setup for NinjaTrader. Be advised this video is rather long and detailed, so I encourage you to grab a glass of water, get a comfy chair, and buckle in for the ride. I would also suggest to pause the video as we go through these steps, as they are very important. If you miss one checkbox along the line, the entire process will not work. Now, it is a multi-step process. We need an account for NinjaTrader, and we need an account for Topstep, which is the rhythmic data connection. We'll be going through both of those, but it's important to keep them separate. It also assumes that you have already created an account with Topstep, so you have your rhythmic credentials, and it assumes that you do have some technical knowledge or at least know your way around a computer because there is some technical setup involved. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll also be going over a couple of processes a couple of times to make sure that we have all bases covered. Along the way, we are going to encounter some problems and some issues. This is by design so you can see where a mistake may happen and what you need to do about it. Let's get started. Turn off my video and your logo. First thing here is we go to topstep.com website. On the top right, we have Help Center. In the search box, we can type in NinjaTrader. As we see, it populates down to the NinjaTrader connection instructions, which we will be using. Now, again, this is rather lengthy. There are a lot of steps and pictures in here to follow, so let's go through it all. Some of them we are not going to need. For example, if you already have a NinjaTrader account, you do not have to start with step 1 by creating a NinjaTrader account. Again, the NinjaTrader account is different than the credentials for logging into Rhythmic. That's step 5. Section 5 is connecting to RTrader Pro. That is going to be a separate video for those instructions. That is to get your data with the information provided via Topstep. Step number 1, section 1. We're going to visit the NinjaTrader's registration page. In the instructions, you can see it looks at here. They did a little change to it. We do not want to use signing up with Google or Apple ID because that is going to put a kink in the process. We want to create a new account with your email and click on Sign Up. If you already have an account, again, you can skip this page. An email will be sent to you that you need to confirm your email address before going further. This may take a couple of minutes, up to an hour or two. This comes directly from NinjaTrader. It is not from Topstep. That's a different setup. Here, once we have verified our account, we can now log in, which I will do right here. Log in. I have my information. Click on Login. And there it is. Okay? Notice the additional options section right here. We do not need to open an account. This is a live trading account with NinjaTrader Brokerage. This can be skipped. We simply need to click on Additional Options. That's the instructions here. Additional options, import license key. So the next step is to click on Import License Key. This is going to import, or you will need to import, the Topstep's NinjaTrader license key. That will open up the NinjaTrader platform for you. And this is what it looks like. When you're finished, it will bring you back to the previous page, and you may need to click on Additional Options again, which is here. They bring you back like this. Additional options. This is where you download the platform. So when you're clicking on download the platform, you want to use the most recent release. Again, here we are, logging in. We want the most recent release, where it is right after. This is step number 2. This is step number 2 if we already have a NinjaTrader account. But if we don't have a NinjaTrader account, we can log in, download the most recent release, install it, and then once it is installed, we will have a big red N on our desktop. It looks like it's a little different. It's right here. It looks just like this up here, the logo. I'm going to launch NinjaTrader. Here's my NinjaTrader login screen. Picture on the Help Center, and this is what it looks like. Okay, this is the NinjaTrader login. It is not the Rhythmic data information. This is simply the the NinjaTrader login that you just created a moment ago and confirmed via your email. So I'm going to log in with my NinjaTrader credentials. I'm going to click Login. If I have my correct password, excuse me. Notice I typed my incorrect password. That was an accident, but that is a message you will get to be aware of. So now I just started NinjaTrader. I just logged into my NinjaTrader platform, and NinjaTrader is loading, as we can see. This is the layout. It may be I have multiple screens. If you have multiple screens, I noticed that the DOM showed up on another screen, and this showed up half of a screen, and this showed up on yet a third screen. So all I did was I just dragged these and I moved them onto the one screen here so I can go through this process with you. Now I may be excited about this, so I want to connect to, I want to make my connection. Okay, we can't do that just yet. Here are the instructions. What we need to do is to go through the multi-provider section in the options menu. Let me show you what that looks like. If I try to make a connection, there's nothing here. So you may think that I don't have, how am I supposed to connect? And if you go through all of this areas, there's nothing. None of these menus are going to give you a connection. Why? Because we need to go to Tools, Options, and we need to choose this checkbox right here. That is very important. Once we choose this for multi-provider and click Apply, you'll notice that the NinjaTrader needs to be restarted, so we're able to have a connection. Okay, see how they show up? We don't have Topstep in here yet. So now we need to restart NinjaTrader. I'm going to close it. I'm going to save my connection. We are here in the instructions, multi-provider, here. Okay, here's the options. Here is the checkbox that we need. Moving on, I'm going to start up NinjaTrader. We'll start it back again. And if you recall, we have this login, which I will type in the right password first this time. We are still working on the NinjaTrader login information. This has got nothing to do with the Topstep user credentials for Rhythmic at this point. So once NinjaTrader loads, like this, we can come back. We see we now have a SIM account. That is a NinjaTrader SIM account. Nothing to do with Topstep, nothing to do with practice account. Now if we go into connections, we will see these here. Okay, let's pull up our instructions. We need to connect through a Rhythmic data connection. Now this is what is provided to you in an email account like this, in an email from Topstep. This is what you will receive after signing up with Topstep. You will receive these credentials. This is where we need to use these credentials for Rhythmic data. Now I'm going to start the Rhythmic platform. Assuming that this is all done, we have downloaded our Rhythmic Trader Pro. Let me go back. Okay, we need to make sure these are the instructions for a video for Rhythmic Trader. Rhythmic Trader Pro, our Trader Pro, is important. Click here, you will get to download it, and then follow these instructions for the setup of our Trader Pro. This is what it looks like when you're finished. These are the instructions and the username and credentials that you get from Topstep. We have a username, we have a Topstep password. Make sure we're using Topstep Trader. Make sure we're in Chicago area. Duplicate the settings below. So this is for orders. This is for market data. Very important that orders are on, market data is on, and this one, allow plugins, needs to be on. I don't know that it is on by default. Once you're finished with this, click here to remember me. It will save this information for last time, as you will need to start our Trader Pro before starting your NinjaTrader platform. Okay, so let me close my NinjaTrader platform. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a connection first so we can generate an error. Removing this. I'm not going to download our Trader Pro, and I am not going to log into our Trader Pro. Let me go and make the connections so we can see the error. I'm going to make a connection right here at the top, clicking on Configure. Connections, Configure. We want to look on the left-hand side for Rhythmic for NinjaTrader Brokerage. I'm going to click on Add. Notice I have it in my list now. Notice I can name it. You can name this whatever you want. We're just going to call it Topstep. Apply. Could not be saved. Why? This is where we enter our Topstep credentials. Okay, so let's connect this at startup. Let me use my Topstep username and password. These are the ones from Rhythmic. I said Topstep. These are the ones you get from Topstep that are the Rhythmic data connections. Here is the important part. System needs to be Topstep Trader right here. And the plugin mode for market data needs to be activated. If this is not set up exactly like this with your own username and password for Rhythmic, it will not work. So let's apply. It's giving me a script strategy and a warning message that says we want to leave it running. Clicking OK. Connections, there's Topstep. So let's try it. I'm going to connect to Topstep. I get a little yellow dot right here. That dot will remain there. And why will that dot remain there? Because we have not started our RTrader Pro connection. As I said earlier, this needs to be started prior to. We're using a plugin for RTrader. We're using a plugin for our NinjaTrader connection. This will hang. It'll appear you don't have credentials or don't have data. You do. We just need to make sure we are starting RTrader Pro before starting NinjaTrader. So let's close NinjaTrader. We open up RTrader Pro. Log in. It's just going to open on another screen that I will show you momentarily as soon as it finishes the connection. And here it is. This is what it looks like. We have my name. We have my accounts I have. A couple of practice accounts. I'm going to leave this running. I'm just going to minimize it. In this case, I'll pull it off the screen. Once I have my RTrader Pro running, now I can start NinjaTrader. Again, this is the NinjaTrader platform login, not the Rhythmic data login. I already have my Rhythmic logged in here. This is for NinjaTrader. Let it load. And if you remember in the options during the connection, we chose it to connect the data upon startup. So we should see this here. We should see our connections now. Topstep is green. And here we are. The two practice accounts that we're showing here in RTrader Pro. That's the full connection. You can change these around, set up your charts the way you wish. We can make these whichever size you want, and this is just more of the formatting of the NinjaTrader platform. Here's our Rhythmic information. Goes step by step. Again, be sure this is proper information. This is the Rhythmic data information, the connection to RTrader. It shows it here. Just like we went through in the demo, on. Click on Remember Me. And then once you start your Rhythmic data, you can load NinjaTrader. That's all. Now we can place orders. One final thing I'll put on this video versus the other videos. In NinjaTrader, we look at this and we try to figure out how to place an order. There's something right here called Chart Trader. If I turn Chart Trader on, you'll see right here, here are the options to show me how to place the orders. There are a bunch of features and settings that you can go through in NinjaTrader. That's for another video. But the important part is when you turn this on, notice the default is on SIM account right here. That is the built-in account for NinjaTrader. You have the option to choose which account. I have two practice. If you have a combine under there, you'll have a combine. If you have two combines, you'll see two of them. That is very important because when you start this up, make sure that this is on so you can actually see which account you are trading. Okay, put these back. That's going to conclude this section of setting up the NinjaTrader connection to Rhythmic and through Topstep. Again, there's the NinjaTrader that you need to process through Ninja for setup screen. There's also the Rhythmic data connection, those credentials you get from Topstep. Now be advised that these are entirely separate, and go through the setup instructions tutorial step by step, one by one. Pause, take it slow. If you miss one item, nothing is going to work, as you can see in this video. Wish you the best of luck. Contact support if you have any questions. We're here for you. And remember to trade well and always trade for tomorrow.